Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Market Psychology 101, where we look for value in the markets when there's fear and are cautious when there's greed. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 altcoins available on Coinbase. We're also going to be taking a quick look at Bitcoin. It's been a few days since we've done a Bitcoin or altcoin video, and wow, what a difference a few days makes. So, starting right off the bat, as I'm going to my chart here, as you can see, I had this line drawn out, wondering if we were going to see some possible bearish divergence, but this RSI on the weekly just keeps going upwards and now has peaked over our previous RSI levels back here. I know this line isn't drawn exactly. I'm about to delete it, but the point being, RSI going higher, we're just plain bullish, obviously. So throw some of the prior notions out the window. I said out loud, and I was wondering if we were going to peak around this macro fib. Let me get rid of this indicator. We had a macro fib drawn from the prior highs and lows, and I was wondering if we were going to get stopped out here at the 236 around 56,000. We stopped at it a little bit, and we've just been going up 62,000. Does it not look like we are going to be getting into all-time high region soon? And the reason I thought we were going to be going to that 236 fib is because every prior halving, we've been slowly moving up each fib. When we go from the prior peaks, highs, and lows, the peak then before the halving has been going up. So going all the way back, I'll try to talk through this as quick as I can for those of you who have seen it before. So the peak before the halving, below the 0.5, above the 0.5, almost to the 382, above the 382, almost to the 236. So I thought, hey, maybe we're going to be stopped somewhere around the 236. And also, every halving year, we sort of chop around half the amount that we did before. So both those patterns put us at 56, guys. Patterns, just as I say in NFA, not financial advice. Analysis of data is not enough to predict future results, and this is an exact reason why. All that being said, I've talked about with you guys a lot how when you try to make predictions, you make a fool out of yourself. If I would have just been going purely by predictions, then you can see right there that would have been a loser's game. What I try to teach you guys here, Market Psychology 101, is to look for value in the markets when there's fear and are cautious when there's greed. So right now there's a lot of greed in the markets, which means you have to be cautious should you be investing into any cryptos at all. Now, you might be wondering, well, are we going to be getting to all-time highs and like prior cycles before? Are we going to be going up? So here, when we look at the rainbow chart, are we going to be having another one of these peaks? Right now, with how quick we're going up, it feels like we could be going higher. There's some levels of euphoria starting to set in. So I feel like we're knocking on that door of going on a parabolic bull run. Maybe we will see, guys. I don't know the future. I don't know if in March or April, all of a sudden everything's going to tank and Bitcoin does something that it's never done before. Whether we top out early or make new all-time highs before the halving, that's never happened before, and then tank. I don't know. So we'll see. We do have to be flexible in our approach. And really, what I am trying to show you guys here, as we analyze any asset, a stock or crypto, I try to show people how to look to get more value out of their investment and to look for trends. Are you buying a pullback into an uptrend? Are you catching a falling knife? Are you spending time in the market to find the lows and to capitalize on those, or are you chasing? So we're trying to use sort of a contrarian view, psychological view of the markets to assess whether it's a good time to get in or not. That's earnings. Let's get to the crypto fear and greed index. Something to note, we are in the highest greed we've been all year. We've gotten up into the 80s portion. And I talked back here before the ETF approval how we were just accumulating greed. And usually, when you accumulate at least an asset, things can explode up. Now, this went down. We got down to somewhere around 39,000 when Bitcoin got to sort of neutral values on the fear and greed. But overall, we've been in this uptrend of fear and greed since here. And anytime we accumulate or have a lot of greed together, or even fear, that's when things can take a dump. Anytime things are really coiling up a lot, when we get those spikes, the price can move there quick and then go away. But when we're coiling up, the higher high from those levels tends to come later. So just something to keep in mind. With all that being said, let's get into the analysis. Bitcoin, man, look at this here. We've been following this trend line, and we may be furthest away from our trend line now than we've ever been. So if we just measure that percent away from the trend line, we're about 40% away from it. The closest I can see is maybe right here, as far as how far we move from the trend line. I'm curious. I haven't looked at this yet. 46%. So maybe for this week, if we were to have the largest move Bitcoin has since the bottoms, and we were to move up 46%, where does that put us? Right near all-time highs. So maybe that's what's going to happen, and then we're going to get, it feels like we should be getting a pullback sometime soon, right? Well, we'll see. There's no indicators of that yet. So things are just looking bullish right now. Maybe in a few weeks, we can see if we go on the daily. I mean, that's just looking bullish right there too. So Bitcoin has been moving great. Let's put this here on auto, and yeah, just chopping around for a bit, and then boom, look at how that shot up. Just from, we were at 51K what felt like yesterday, and we've gone up 12,000. I mean, what a move. And so I'm sure a lot of you are now wondering, well, Bitcoin's gone up 25%. What about the altcoins? Well, on total 3, this is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And let me get this day and time down right here. So here it's showing February 26 at 11. Let's try to get the same time. February 26 at 11 was about right here. Okay. Did we have a similar move in the altcoin market? Well, we've only had half the amount of move. So what that makes me then wonder about is Bitcoin dominance. And I know some of you might be waiting for me to talk about the altcoins on Coinbase, and I'll get there. The reason why this is important is because what has happened each of the last 2 cycles is that we have these phases. Bitcoin pumps, then Ethereum pumps, and then large caps, and then small caps. So you have the biggest window for your large, medium caps to run overall. The small caps, if you're able to hit the lottery on any of them, and it is a lot like gambling, they tend to run in a shorter period of time and are way more volatile. Whereas the large caps, Bitcoin, Ethereum, tend to grind up. I know this looks like it's going straight up, but again, you take a look at this. This was from March to December. So we had 9 months here. And even from when we were breaking all-time highs, I mean, you could take a look from here in the next bull run, September to next March. So again, you might have about 9 months. Some altcoins might pop later. I like to think about getting out of the market as we get really close to that first peak, whether it's a double peak, a triple peak. If my altcoins have ran the way they're supposed to, they will have done at least a 10x from the bottoms, the lower caps even more. So Bitcoin dominance, overall amount of percent of money that's in Bitcoin compared to the alts. And what do we see with Bitcoin dominance? It's green. So it's it's trending up. And to me, that's a good thing because as Bitcoin dominance trends up, when it dumps, that's when the altcoins really go crazy. If you think your altcoins are doing great now, if you're in any of them, like Jasmy, which is over 2 cents, and Jasmy looks nuts right here. I got some Jasmy between 40 and 50 down here. If you think this is nuts, just wait. If you guys have not been in one of these bull markets yet, when Bitcoin dominance peaks and then dumps, and that money rolls into altcoins, you're going to see stuff like Jasmy. I'm not kidding you. I'm not saying this is going to happen with Jasmy, but you'll see this happen with a lot of alts where all of a sudden these things go up 10x in the blink of an eye. That's how exciting crypto can be. It's also it's very dangerous. I'm trying to caution you guys. I'm not saying it's a bad time to get in. Would I be buying Jasmy right now? No, I wouldn't. I got Jasmy down here. Okay. You might be able to find some better value on altcoins. I mean, you could take a look at something like Link. Okay. It's been in this range. It hasn't had its next parabolic move up. ICP. It looks like it has a sell off coming. Maybe it'll come down a buck or two. You could probably buy some now. So there are altcoins you can buy now that I don't know what the returns are going to be. All I'm saying is when Bitcoin dominance shoots up or goes up and then dumps down, that's when you're going to see those alts explode. So let's get into it. I've laid out why the alts are going to explode, and I've been talking for 12 minutes. My God. So Ethereum, since we last talked, look at that. The fib's just getting higher. Would I buy Ethereum right now? Me personally, no, I would not. Time in the market's more important than timing the market. When we're chopping around, to me, that's more important. So Ethereum looks great. Where do I think Ethereum could possibly go? Well, when we take a look here, we got nearly to 5,000 from levels around 180. Let's just even say 200. And so 5,000 divided by 200, that's a 25x in there. And I'm sure here is even more. Here, if you would have somehow got Ethereum at the bottoms, let's say around here at around 12 and gone up to, let's just say that level there, 900, that was a 75x. So 75x, a 25x from the bottoms here, from the levels down here. Where do I think Ethereum could go? Well, as we keep going, you have to keep market cap in mind. And right now it has a $410 billion market cap. I think Ethereum max, in my opinion, I would be taking a look at a 5x from here. Max, something around 15,000 during the next, or should we get another 4-year cycle mega bull run? Again, nothing's guaranteed. I'm not saying we're going to. But if we did get something similar, I would look for Ethereum to get somewhere around, I would watch the 1 trillion mark, see what price is doing around then. And if it was blowing through that, then I could see Ethereum doing, maybe a 3 or 4, 3 to a 5x. Sorry. So I know that seems crazy. I mean, we're talking about Ethereum having a market cap rivaling the very top stocks in the world. So we'll see. We'll see. Next, let's take a look at Doge. Let's go to crypto here. Doge. And let's throw on an indicator. Let's do buy sell indicators, even though I know nothing's really going to be saying sell right now, and all our buy indicators have been weeks ago or months ago. Let's go to the weekly, see how close we can get to a recent buy indicator. So Doge, my God, it's gone up to 11. And something to know with Doge is that when it peaked, last time it peaked around here, right at the end, around May. So I'm not saying that has to happen this time, but Doge, look at this move. I mean, we went from around 1/3 of a cent to 74 cents. and we got up to, I want to say, around $100 billion market cap. So should we get to $100 billion market cap, that would be around a 7x from right here. Do I think Doge could do that? Possibly. I do. Some people are talking about Doge getting to $1. And guys, I don't know. What I will say is if you do put money into crypto, make sure you have an exit plan, because what can happen with a lot of these very quickly, when they dump hard. And yeah, especially after they're getting underneath these moving averages and supports, they can dump very hard. So as you take a look here, look how Doge was around 17 cents in July of 21. And we're talking about in early May. So just a couple months, it sold off all the way. So you want to sell into the pumps, whether you sell here or here, you won't care. But if you sell back down here, you will care. It hurts seeing it go up and then come down. So make sure you guys have an exit plan. Let's go to Link. I like Link a lot. And I've been wondering to myself, how high can this thing go? As far as Link, its market cap is around 11 billion. I know Doge had around $100 billion market cap at its peak last time. Guys, to me, Link is one of the strongest altcoins out there. Link and Solana would be a couple of those. And I could see Link being one of those to surpass 100 billion, even go to maybe 200 billion or more. So Solana, I think, would probably be the top one this time around. I could be wrong, but Link, we're talking about a 10x from here and getting up to somewhere like, let's see the price. So somewhere near 200. That to me is best case scenario for Link. And I'm sure you're wondering, where's this guy getting his predictions from? So again, if we're just talking about cycles and how much we can go up, as you can see here, when we were chopping around, similar to the action here before we had our first wave up here, if we measure out just from somewhere in the middle there to the peak, May of 21 again, look how high that went up. That went from, let's calculate this out, that went from around a third of a cent to 48, and I'm just dividing all that right now. That was 126x. Let's just say we get a third of that, or even a quarter. Let's say we get a quarter of that. What would that, oh my God, I keep doing that. Dang Mac, scrolling thing. Let's say we get a quarter of that. We do a 31x, yep, came back. Okay, let's say we get a 31x times 7. A 31x from here. So I'm talking about a quarter of the 25% of the strength of this move. Let's say we get only 25% of that from here, somewhere in the middle there. You calculate that out, and that would put Link at around 221. So again, that's why I'm saying around a 10x. Each move does get a little bit less. We have diminishing returns. Again, that does not mean we can't make great money. And could you get it now? You could. Again, guys, be careful. On some of these altcoins, you can see this is bearish diversions. We have higher price, lower strength. But bearish diversions, that's just one thing. When you have crypto pumping and Bitcoin pumping, we may see Bitcoin dominance start to rip up. Overall, it does look like it's in an uptrend right now. And when the first wave of the altcoin market starts, you're going to see things like Link all of a sudden just shoot up. I'm telling you, if you've never been there, it's crazy times. I would rather buy when we are accumulating for a few months and there's been some buy and sell signals. But yeah, Link, I do like Link a lot for this next bull run. Let's move on. Let's go to AVAX. AVAX, and you can see here we had a little bit of chop down, and this moving average, the 10 on here, is curling over a little bit. So AVAX, Not the worst time to buy. I think if you believe in AVAX, if you go to the last 3 months, look at that. It's just been chopping around. Not the worst time to buy. On the buy and sell signals, you can see here that the last buy signal we were around 34, and we're just a little bit up higher at around 40. So if you bought AVAX here, I would not blame you. And similar to Link, let's take a look at AVAX, what it did from the last time. So December 2020, let's say around $4, that it went from 4 to 105 there. So I'm going to math that out. That's about a 26x. Okay. Let's, again, I'm trying to be conservative because each time we don't have the same amount of multiples. Sometimes we get a third of the amount of multiples or a quarter. But if I take 26 divided by 4, 6.5. If I take 6.5 times, just I'm going to pick a point in the middle here, 14, that'd put us at $91 AVAX. Okay, maybe that's the size we get. And guys, I don't know. All I'm going to keep saying, though, is make sure you have an exit plan. Have a price target. When you research your altcoins, make sure you have a price target of where you would like it to be, and maybe even a dynamic exit strategy. So let's say you believe AVAX can go to, let's just pick a number, 200. You believe AVAX can go to 200. Well, to be safe, if you were to put 10,000 into AVAX right now, maybe you take out a certain portion along the way and you set benchmarks for that. So when AVAX hits 100, you take out a certain percent. 125, you take out a certain percent. 150, 175. That way, if AVAX doesn't hit 200, you've at least taken profits from where you are now. So that's just a little pointer for me on how to make sure you're dynamically dollar cost averaging out in order to take your gains. As far as crypto is concerned, something that makes it a little different than stocks, it's not the long game as much, unless you just buy and hold Bitcoin when it's in the lows. Right now, we're not in that phase. We are not in a phase to necessarily buy and hold. Maybe in 10 years, you'll look back on this video and say otherwise, and say, you know what, I could have just bought and held here, and we have 500,000 Bitcoin. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know if Bitcoin's ever going to get that high. If you did that back here, sure, great. But if you're playing the altcoin game and you're getting in before the yellow line here and you're selling up here, that's all I'm saying is that we have a short window to sell in crypto. It's a different game. It's an exciting game, but you're more of a trade vestor. Let's move on from AVAX to XRP. How's XRP doing? I haven't taken a look at it. So XRP, is this coin dead? Is it gonna come back to life sometime? XRP, if you like it, you believe in it, compared to how the other cryptos are doing, not the worst time to dollar cost average in. However, when you consider how disappointing XRP was the last time we had a bull run, that even though it did pretty well, you could say, well, it had a 10x if you're able to get into it. Some places like Coinbase, they wouldn't let you. They locked it up because of a lawsuit. Is XRP going to, excuse me, is XRP going to go parabolic? Possibly. Maybe. I don't know. But if you research XRP, you really like it, I think this is a great time to get into XRP. Do caution yourself on a lot of the videos out there that say XRP is going to 10,000. Guys, that's ridiculous. If people say that, they do not understand a lick of what market cap means. 10,000, you take 10,000 divided by this, and whatever that number is, you multiply that times the market cap. You do that, that means XRP has a $500 trillion market cap. That's stupid. That's not going to happen. However, maybe XRP goes with something like $5, $10. I could see that. Sure, why not? If that's where you believe XRP can go, compared to how other altcoins look, I don't think this is the worst time to get in. I really don't. So we've been as low as 35 to 40 cents. We're only at 60 cents. Hey, XRP, if you believe there's good long-term value, maybe worth taking a stab at it. Solana. So I hope you guys are seeing some of these coins. It's you can take a look at the value. Some you can take a look at the charts. There's different ways to look at it, and that's why that's one of my goals and what I'm trying to present to you here on this channel, that it's not just purely looking at the charts. It's up to you guys to do your own research. I can't research all 100,000 cryptos out there, but do your own research if you like it. There are different ways to view it. One of my simplest ways is I look, well, is it a yearly high? Okay, I'm already hesitant about buying it, but hey, has it been chopping around? Is it a crypto? Yeah. Is it something I really like? Okay. Well, maybe, if you feel really strongly about it, it's something like Solana. You could have got some here when it was around 100 and thought, well, I don't believe it's going to ever come back down to these these 20 or 50 levels. So anyway, Solana, and some people got it down here in the teens. Otherwise is at around 20 for a while, and it did about a 5-6x since then. Solana. Now, Solana's market cap, if I look this up, Solana's market cap is around 52 billion. I think this is going to be one of, if not the best performing altcoin outside of Ethereum, of course. By market cap, I think Link and Solana are definitely going to be contenders for that. Solana, I would feel a lot stronger about for that role. So Solana, I could see this possibly being the $500 billion altcoin. That'd be about a 10x from here, and we would be talking about 1,000 Solana. Crazy to think about, but if you believe Solana can get to 1,000, then you believe it can have a market cap of 500 billion. Can it get there? We'll see. But there's a lot to like about Solana. There's still a community out there that has doubts about it, because Solana, you have to do your own research on this, verify. I'm not trying to FUD here. Solana had some ties to FTX, and supposedly, I don't know if this is Caroline Ellison or Sam Bankman-Fried said, how they're able to just switch Solana on and off and remove funds from it. Don't quote me on saying that, but there is one of those people did say that they expressed how they could compromise Solana. So people have had doubts about it since then. However, Solana has done a good job of removing themselves from that whole their whole connections with FTX, and it's been performing strongly. There's been a lot of altcoins, shitcoins created on the Solana network. A lot of them are just pure garbage. Some of them have made millionaires out of McDonald's workers. So Solana, it's degen central. Do your own research. This is my personal opinion, though there's a lot to like about Solana. There's also enough doubt where I wouldn't get in it here. I do think it can be a strong, solid play. However, when there's other altcoins out there like Link, ICP, and others, IMX, I feel better about putting my money into those altcoins, because I feel that they will do higher multipliers, and I like their projects more, and I don't have as many questions about it. So Solana here, bullish, been chopping around a little bit. Like I said, if you think Solana is a $500 billion altcoin, maybe you take a look at the next pullback and get in on some Solana. When that pullback will be, I don't know. We'll see. So after Solana, we have 4 more: Cardano, MATIC, DOT, and ICP. Let's take a look at Cardano. I'm at 30 minutes. I apologize. I'm going to try to fly through this. Cardano, around 63 cents. After taking those highs, we came down here to the 382 at around 50 cents, and we've come back up. So this thing's looking bullish. Hey, if you were upset you didn't get Cardano when you saw it back here, you had some time to get it at lower fibs, or even up here at around 57 cents. If you are a big believer in Cardano, not the worst spot to buy. Something to note is that Cardano, it peaked. This isn't showing where it peaked in 2018. Let me find a different one. Cardano market cap. I don't think Coinbase went that far back. Nope. Some of these, they only show Cardano back so far. My God. It can be hard to find the right Cardano. ADA. Here we go. Here we go. Awesome. Cardano US dollar. So here you can see it peaked up to $1.40 in early 2018, late 2017. Got down to around this 4-cent range, but then it went up to $3. So if you're wondering how much that was a 75x. So again, what if we just take a third of that? What if we just take 25 times, let's see what the average range is down here. 25 times, sorry, I have to scratch my 25 times 40 cents. That would put us at $10 Cardano. Maybe you want it a little lower. 25 times 30 cents. That's $7.50 Cardano. I'd say that's more realistic, maybe about a 10x from here if you really believe in Cardano. And again, its market cap is 22 billion. So if you believe Cardano can be around $7.50, then you believe this can 10x or more, and you believe Cardano can be worth somewhere around 230 billion. Can Cardano be worth that much? I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But if Cardano is something you really like, and you're thinking that maybe we are only in this phase right here as far as the relative strength index, and we haven't even begun, hey, maybe pick up some Cardano. I don't think, compared to some other alts that have already ran a bit, I think this is at a better price. So we have MATIC, DOT, and ICP. Gotta love the month of February. Always getting sick. MATIC. So MATIC came back down to the 618, wick down there, 0.5 really. And at this buy signal, if you would have bought it, and guys, I like this this indicator as a leading indicator for buy sell. If you want more of a lagging confirmation indicator, UT bot alerts. It waits a little longer. You won't get it at the best price, but you won't get faked out as much either. This is 1020 MA. If you would have bought it over here at 80 cents, you would have made a little bit, like 40% or something like that. Let me make sure I'm doing my math right. Yeah, around 40%. That makes sense. So anyways, MATIC, I like MATIC a lot. When we take a look at this range down here, when MATIC was around 2 cents and got as high as, you could say it got near $3 if you waited till December of 21. So this one, you remember how I showed you guys this chart, and a lot of altcoins peaked in here. MATIC looks to be one of those that peaked at the end. So you have to have some tough skin to stick with MATIC. Here it peaked early, and you know what? Hey, if you sold at 2 and you didn't have to go through all this stuff and wonder, after Bitcoin went from 60 to 30,000, what's going on? Maybe it's worth it for the headache. So let's just say 250. 250 divided by 2 cents. So $2.50 divided by 0.02. That's 125x. Let's divide that by 5, just so we get an even 25x. And we go from somewhere just right around where it's chopping around here. Sorry, let me zoom in. I want to get somewhere in the middle there. 75 cents. That would put MATIC at around $19. So you would be believing that MATIC could do a 19x. MATIC's market cap is around 10 billion. And so if you believe MATIC could do a 1920x, and you believe it could be a $200 billion market cap. Could it? Maybe. When I think of how things like Doge, which is completely useless, ran to a 75 cents and 100 billion, and I think, well, we have more useful things like Link, MATIC, and Sol. I think, why can't they run to 200 billion 4 years, 3-4 years later? So we'll see. At the very least, maybe you're only looking for a 5x. I would say I like MATIC to do that should similar market conditions continue. Again, I don't know what's going to happen. This time is already different. Looks like we're going to have new all-time highs before the halving. That's never happened before. Looks like we might get a very early top, not a 4-year cycle. Different things are going on, so we need to be able to react. This is a reminder to take a deep breath and know that crypto, for as fast as it moves, you still control your decisions and what you're doing. So make sure that if you are being in control and trying to be patient, you can at the very least wait for a weekly sell signal to play out and get the next weekly buy signal. Or do your own research and see, hey, overall, if I believe this thing can 10x from here, then I like the level it's at now. Last, we have DOT and ICP. DOT, I'd say good value for DOT from where it is. So it's right here at the 236 fib around 8 and got down to the 0.5. So if you got this buy signal even as high as 730, all right, not bad. DOT last time back here went from around 420 to, this was another late bloomer. So that one did about, a 10x. So $4, 60 cents to $46, 10x. Here we got down to similar levels. And so could this get to, this is interesting because usually each cycle we go up a little bit higher in a base. The base went down to the same. So, hey, maybe you're just targeting around those 40s again. And if so, you believe we could do around a 5x. So DOT, maybe not as high of a potential considering the base. When we made a base that was pretty much around the same level as before, I would have liked more if there's higher lows. I would believe in higher potential. Not saying that can't happen, but that's interesting. Just something I noticed. So ICP, man, do you believe ICP could get back to 2,500 up here when it started out? I don't know about that. Maybe around where we have this range here, where we were chopping around a bit, 76. So if you're wondering what the market cap of ICP is right now, it's around 5.8 billion. And so maybe you like the potential of ICP to be one of those $100 billion altcoins. And that would mean it could do a 17x from where it is now. If you believe ICP can become a $100 billion altcoin, then it could go from 5.8 billion market cap to 100. That's 17.2 times higher. That times 12.694. That'd be around a $218 ICP. We'll get there. I don't know. Something to recognize with ICP is that as far as these buy-sell signals, you can see that we got a sell signal. And right now, it looks like maybe it wants to get back down to this 382 level at around 11. And so maybe you're going to wait for it to go down $1. We have that moving average. Maybe it's going to run into this one, chop around a little bit. Again, I don't believe we are in alt season quite yet. Let me put a bow on this, wrap all this video up. This is the macro alt season chart. We are still very much into Bitcoin season because, as you can see, Bitcoin dominance is still trending upwards. Once Bitcoin dominance gets as high as it goes and dumps into altcoins, that's when we shoot up in the alt season. And that can happen very quick. So here you can see that as we were ready to go into alt season and we were getting above prior peaks back here, how quick did this happen? June of 20 to September 20. I believe that was when Bitcoin was getting ready to break all-time highs. Let's back up here. June of 20. Yeah, so this is June of 20 to September of 20. So yeah, This is when Bitcoin was gearing up to start breaking to all-time highs back here. And so we came back down December of 2020. What happened from December of 2020 onwards? So December 2020 was all-time high area. We were getting and beating all-time highs. December 2020 to May, that second peak, that's what that was on the alt season chart right here. So keep an eye on these charts, the ones available at blockchaincenter.net. Keep an eye on Bitcoin dominance. When we've really peaked in price, you can see when alts run, that's when Bitcoin dominance can take these big dumps, especially under support. When they dump under support, which tends to happen really fast, that's when we have alt season. Chopped up for a bit, alt season went higher, went down. Again, look at that, September 2020, we just looked at that. December, January 2020, you guys know what happened after. This is where alt season happened, where everything truly exploded. So I do think there's still time to get in on some of these alts. I do think there's still time to wait on some consolidation, maybe some buy-sell signals. I don't know what the price is going to be. It depends on the altcoin. If there's one you want me to take a look at, comment below. I'd be happy to. And guys, just know there's no guarantee with any of this. There are some altcoins that if they ran before, it does not mean they're going to run again. There are some new altcoins you've never heard of. They might go crazy. Something like Jasmy, which I was lucky enough. Oh my God, look at this. It's already been going up since I talked about it. So that Jasmy I got down here, the 40 to 50, that's doing pretty good right now. And as this keeps going up, I ask myself, when's the pullback going to happen? Because I know it is. And when it does happen, it usually can do like a 50% move. And so, sometimes when these things rip up, depending on how high they rip up and how quick, it can tell you whether or not the pullbacks are going to be bigger or not. But yeah, I hope looking at here, let me show you a coin that pumped last time around, DNT District. So this was one that this was a coin I got into the last two bull runs, and first time it gradually ripped up, came back down to support, and I got in here and here, and all of a sudden it went up, chopped around a little bit. I liked how it wasn't going down underneath these supports as it got closer to these bands. And there's other things you can look at. Bull market support band. Actually, let's take a look at that. That might be even a better one. Bull market support band. As you can see, as it just touched it, and then it ripped up again. And this thing, I was able to make a good profit on it in here. So I was sad I didn't get it up here at 50, but I was more than happy to get out of it in the 30-cent range. So anyways, do watch, as we are aping up, do watch the bull market support band. Some of these alts might get under it a little bit. And if Bitcoin's still looking very bullish and your altcoin's kind of down here, that might be a good value time to buy. If it's something you've done your research on and you believe in it, then maybe it can go up. And then as sometimes it touches the band, it can just shoot up again. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video on the altcoins available on Coinbase, as well as just what Bitcoin's doing, how it's different, and really keep an eye out on Bitcoin dominance, what it does, because when it starts crashing down, that's when you're going to see the alts go nuts. Now is the time to do research on which altcoins you like. That's your homework. What 3 to 5 altcoins do you like? And then as you take a look at the charts, you can set your buy targets. Maybe, if we take ICP, for example, maybe you feel good about buying now. If it gets down lower, you'll put in more, you'll put in more, you'll put in less. You just create your own different zones on when to buy in. But again, first things first, do your own research, because this isn't financial advice. I don't know how high some of these will go. And just know that any of the gains you make are zero until you pull those out. And if you pull any of your profits out too late, trust me, it's too late. You rather pull their profits out on the way up near the top than after it peaks. And I go over some signs on how to look for that in other videos. So subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, hope everyone's having a great week and also making great money off this crypto bull run. This is exciting. We blew right through 56. I don't mind being wrong about that. And hey, I hope we can all make some good money from this as well. So anyways, take care, guys. Thanks for watching.